It's Miss G in the house. Hello. Happy Monday to you. Happy Martin Luther King Day. I hope y'all were able to be off and enjoy this day. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everyone doing? This is Glow. Lane, Glenn, what's up, Courtney? Hi, my Glow Tribe. We in talking about Egypt tonight, and I'm going to give you a couple of little goodies too. Welcome, y'all. How was everyone's weekend? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all had a fabulous weekend, or if y'all were off today. That's even better. If y'all were off today, put a 1 in the chat if y'all were off today. I'm glad everyone is well. Thank y'all so much. And everyone jumping on. Hey, Kaden. Hello, y'all. Welcome. Welcome to Let's Talk and Live in Africa. My name is Gloria Glow, 50 Shades of Glow, Miss G. Depending on when you met me, it's Glow, Gloria, Miss G. I hope all is well. I am, for new people that's coming on, I want to welcome y'all and want to share that I am an avid traveler, a 50 plus traveler, a solo traveler. And I got into the space of not only travel, but African travel almost by mistake. And I am a travel consultant and an event coordinator. Hey, Miss Regina. Yes, ma'am. I was looking for you. By way of just being intrigued, it started back in 2020 when everything was going crazy here. And I saw a documentary on South Africa that kind of dropped the seed that, I had the option to start making some decisions. Hey, Miss Q, welcome. Making some decisions to have some options of living elsewhere. And I just went down a rabbit hole and looked at different places: South Africa, West Africa, uh, and East Africa. Tonight, we're talking about North Africa. So, again, I want to welcome y'all to the Hour of Power. I always say it's going to be 30 minutes. It turns into an hour because we get into the juice of stuff. And now that we're talking about actually living there, it's the Hour of Power. And guess what? what is knowledge? Power. Sorry about that. And what's Africa? Powerful. So we're on the right track. So I want to thank y'all so much for taking the time to, who's this? Carla, welcome. You new to the Glow Tribe. We're naming you on the Glow Tribe. And remember, y'all, the one thing I ask, sharing is caring. And I'm sorry, I'm going to cough. I don't know why my throat is dry. Do me a favor. Just hit that share button and like. So your friends can, your friends. Oh, and hello. Hey, YouTube. I'm on YouTube also. I run YouTube and Facebook Live at the same time because they're not Meta. Well, one is Meta, one's not. So it's not connected. So, hey, my people, it's going to be some people to jump on. I usually have my international people coming on my YouTube. And then I have my US people in my Facebook. But we're going to talk about Egypt tonight. Has anybody been to Egypt? Put Egypt in the chat if y'all have been to Egypt. so y'all can co-sign on what I be talking about. It's gonna be some good stuff tonight, and I'm gonna give out some freebies tonight too. Some people gonna get some itineraries. Okay. No, I'm gonna give y'all also a little hack on how to go to Egypt for free. I love that. That's a specialty of mine when I book my clients, because traveling internationally is so expensive. So you want to get in as much as you can. So I I make sure I can get a trip within a trip. So we also going to talk about that. So let's talk about Egypt. Egypt is in North Africa. And as I have shared with my Glow Tribe, North Africa is interesting. North Africa think they're the Middle East. It's hilarious. If you ever met someone, Christina, welcome. If you've ever met anyone from North Africa, they never say, okay, thank you so much. Um, they never say that um, they're from Africa. They're African. They usually say that they are, well, you're from Egypt, I'm Egyptian. You're from Morocco, I'm Moroccan. And I'm like, oh, so you're from Africa. So that's real interesting. But Egypt has, I feel, the best history, um, just amazing history. And it is definitely a must for people to um, go and see if you travel. Uh, MJ, welcome. It's a must. And because not just the everyone thinks of the pyramids, but a must to go to is also the museum. And I'm not, some museums you go to and it's kind of the same thing. But the Egyptian Museum, Deirdre, welcome. Um, the Egyptian Museum, mind blowing, mind blowing. And the reason why it's mind blowing, one, it has over 170,000 artifacts. Okay. And two, um, two, they're not replicas, they're original. So they are most of those artifacts that's still intact. It may be a little broken or whatsoever, but they're intact. And they were around before Christ. That's really deep, very deep. So that's a must to go to. Um, it takes, it's very hot. Obviously, it rarely rains in Egypt. You will be going into Cairo. Okay, you will be going into Cairo, and when you arrive in Cairo, if you're traveling from the States, and if you are going directly to Cairo, or if you're having Cairo as a stop, the plus is, and what my hack is, for you to um, visit Egypt for free. Usually the Cairo layovers, Tamara, welcome. The Cairo layovers are very long, like between 15 and 20 hours. So, and they usually get there like 5 o'clock in the morning. and not leave till late at night, you can get that trip. You can go and see the excursions during that time. And um, what's another plus is most airlines, if you have a layover longer than 6 to 8 hours, they will offer you a hotel and to stay complimentary and a transit visa. So that's what you get when you arrive in Egypt. Oh, and the outfit of the day, I got this in Egypt. So I want to be, I want to like have a vibe tonight. So I got this in Egypt and I got this at the hotel. I got this at the hotel. It's really cute. But yeah, so you have all those things that a lot of people don't realize. So depending on if you want to stay in Egypt a long time. Now, this is just um, my my opinion from my experience traveling to Egypt, um, is that you can get what you're looking for in the layover. So if you're going to, like, usually I'm on my way to Nairobi, and it'll stop in Egypt for about 18 hours. It'll get there about 5:30 in the morning, and I've already booked my excursions. So I get there at 5:30 in the morning. Go through customs, all of that. Get to the hotel about 7:30, 7 o'clock, 7:30. Have breakfast, and everything at the hotel is complimentary. Did y'all know? Put a one in the chat if y'all knew that. Who is this? Hey, Stacy. If y'all knew that airlines provided complimentary hotel stays if they have a layover for more than 6 to 8 hours. Put a one in the chat if y'all knew that, because a lot of people don't know that, and the airlines do not like announce that. You got to know to know. You have to know to know. So, um, I was able to stay a very nice hotel. It's rated 4 to 5 stars, and when you get to the airport, because no one's going to tell you that. So when you get to the airport, you look for the station that does the vouchers for the hotel, and then also you would have to get a transit visa. Now you can get a transit visa for free, but it's a process. So they said, "Hey, Keisha," so they said that you can get it more streamlined process for $25. I would just do the $25, and you walk up to the because it's small little banks, like what you change your money and everything, because they don't have ATMs there. So you would just pay the $25, change your money right at the bank at the airport. They give you your visa. It's good for the time that you're there, and you're cool. You're good, right? So um, after you leave there, it gets tricky. So the transportation to your hotel. So you can get an Uber, but it's very, very tricky. So you may have to break down and get the uh, the taxis that's outside, but they're gonna come to you just like any other. When you get to the airport and you're a foreigner and they're crowding around you, and you're like, well, I don't know what to do. But usually the transit airports are no more than 5 minutes away. So make sure everything's about planning. Everything is about planning. So you make sure that you have all of that, where the hotel is. That usually the hotel is 5 or so minutes away, and you have your transportation there, because a lot of the hotels are far away from the airport, so you don't want to, get in a taxi and they're riding you all over the place just to take you 5 minutes originally away. So that's a plus, right? So you book your during that 18-hour layover, you can pre-book your excursions, and you can fit in the pyramids and the going to the Khan Kali, yeah, Khan. Y'all know I can't be pronouncing these words. Khan Kahili Market, and um, and the museum, a must. That museum, I can't say enough about. That museum, make sure you have the ticket, make sure, because that museum is always packed, and you will see why it's packed. The artifacts, the mummies, they have a room where it's only mummies. And I felt the vibe in there. I couldn't do it. I like walked to it and kind of looked, and I was like, I don't know. I backed away. And these are real. Nothing in there were replicas. It was amazing, amazing, amazing. If you really want the history, the deep ancient history of the motherland, Egypt is it. Egypt is it. Then when you leave the museum, okay, you go to the pyramids, the Giza pyramids and the Sphinx. That is that whole area. When you're riding to it, it almost seems like you're on a movie. You're like, you're seeing a movie like it's not real. And even to this day, and I've gone a couple of years ago, it still seems very surreal and unreal. But those pyramids, literally thousands, thousands of years old. I don't know. Is it millions? No, thousands, hundreds of thousands, thousands of years old. It was before Christ. Before Christ, those pyramids have been there. And the interesting thing, Daryl, how are you? Welcome. And the interesting thing is, when you hear about the history of it, it's not just one pyramid, it's three pyramids, and they were built for the father, son, and well, it was the grandfather, his son, and then his son. So the father, son, and the grandson, and they're different sizes. Amazing. When you're there, it's almost like, I don't want to say a park, but it's not just the pyramids, and you have the opportunity to go into the pyramids, but just as a FYI, because I guess the people were small back then. The pyramid openings are literally about 4 feet high, and it's hot AF in those pyramids, because it never rains in Egypt. Maybe twice a year. It's like desert. So you're going in those stones that hasn't moved in mega centuries, and literally the entrance is that big. So I said no thank you. And then they want you to pay extra to go in there. I said no thank you. But it's up to y'all. It's up to y'all. It's up to y'all. It's up to y'all. Um, Also, at the Giza pyramids, you also, I know people do put a two in the chat, or put Sphinx if y'all have also seen the Sphinx. The Sphinx is fire, and you can get really cool Instagram pictures with that Sphinx and the pyramids too. Really, really, it's very fun. It's hot, so make sure you are hydrated, and yeah, make sure you are hydrated and you're ready for the day, because it's just out wide. Also, what you can do there. I mean, you have the whole day, and literally, other than paying for the experience, you're not paying for going to Egypt. So if you are on your way, you get this for free. Free. This stop for free instead of planning a trip to Egypt, really getting the same thing, and you paid for a trip to Egypt and that's it. Pay for a trip on your way to somewhere else and stop in Egypt, and you get the whole experience. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. So while you're also there seeing the pyramids, riding around the pyramids, going to the pyramids, if you want to go in the pyramids, then going to the Sphinx, the camels are there. You could do the camel rides. The camel rides are fire. And you will see when you go, the camels are sitting on the side, and you will see like a whole slew of just camels just sitting, and they have their caretakers or whatever sitting. Hundreds of camels. They don't show that on when I look on video and everything like that. They don't show the camels, but it's tons of camels, and it's only like $1, $1.50 to do a camel ride. And they encourage you to give the caretaker a couple of dollars for taking you out. It's like 30 minutes or so, and you pay about $1 to US to go on a camel ride. You get your fire picture, and I even seen a group that did like a camel ride, and they were walking all over. It's it. Egypt is like a tourist destination. Yes. Now, let's get into some nitty gritty about how you kind of shake and move. So I told y'all about, anybody have any questions? Because like I said, I want this to be interactive. Anybody have any questions? Anybody want to come on camera? Anyone want to come on camera? Please come on camera, ask some questions. Okay. So let me see the flight. The flight, more than likely, you will leave from Dulles Airport in DC, and the flight's about 10 hours, and you will go on Egypt Air. Egypt Air is the major carrier, and Egypt Air was decent. And I got a great price on Egypt Air at the time I went. When did I go? Like November, and I believe I paid about 900 round trip, but it was the time of the year. It averages around 1,300 round trip, but you depending on where you're going. So I was going to Kenya, but I was able to get an Egypt trip and a Kenyan trip for $900 or $1,200. I have some clients that I'm booking, that I'm working with now, and their trip is $1,200-$1,300 round trip. They're going to Kenya, but they're going to enjoy Egypt. So they're getting two countries under one $1,200-$1,300. Okay. There's a couple of places in the United States, if you go back and forth twice, you've spent that. And you're able to experience Egypt and another part of Africa, wherever Egypt Air may go, for no more than that. Okay, no more than that. So moving around, in Egypt. Now, when I have when I have traveled to other places, people were extremely friendly. I have a mixed bag on this. Has anybody been to Egypt that's in the chat? Because um, I want to get your feedback. I really did not get a good a a warm welcome. Uh, they were very like get, and I was like, yeah, they were very short and whatever. At the hotel, they were cool. But when I was asking questions, because as I said, I'm a solo traveler, um, I was trying to figure out where I just needed to go. Nobody wanted to answer my questions. They were very rushy, pretty short. This is sad. My my guide, she was nice, but when I was moving, I really didn't get a good like welcome vibe. But I have talked to some people or seen some people and researched to try to get that feedback, and they say they haven't run into that issue. So, it's, I guess, who you run into, but that was what I experienced. I was also able to eat the local food, and if you get some of the excursion um, packages, like through uh, Viator or whatsoever. Um, they usually have or Groupon. They have the combo that you can do the pyramids, the museum, and something else all together. Go to the bazaar or whatever, and it's all in one. So that would, you could take advantage of that instead of doing it singularly. But what I do encourage you is to book it uh, immediately. Not immediately, but pre-book it. Do not, just as a side tip, and I know people probably know this, don't wait until the last minute or when you get to a place, especially internationally, that that you decide to, hello, how are you? Welcome. That you want to then start looking for something to do, because that burns up your time, one. Then more than likely you will overpay because you'll be kind of like doing stuff at the last minute. I would not encourage that at all. I would um, book, have everything booked that you're going to do, and plan excursions like one a day. You can do three excursions if it's in a package, but do it once a day so you don't get overwhelmed, because you do want to enjoy where you are. What else? What else? What else? What else? Anybody have any questions? Let me read off. So, Egypt, just to give you some interesting fun facts. Um, Egypt is Islamic. That is their Arabic is their main language, not English. Just to let y'all know. Now, some may know English, but most don't. Did everyone know that? So, and then talking about, because we're also talking about living there, so I'm going to start to merge that. So I talked about like the highlights of being a tourist. Now we're going to live there, right? So I've got some really good feedback about living in Egypt. It's very inexpensive. Okay, so if you are a digital nomad, remote, it's the hookup. So let me go through this. So let me just go through some fun facts a bit. And the main religion is Islamic. The main language is Arabic. Uh, and if you're there, living, they write from right to left, not left to right. I didn't even realize that was a thing. Okay. Then um, they have a lot of public holidays there. And I've noticed that about Africa in general. Every time I reach out to like my attorney or my bank or whatsoever, it's always, they're like, oh, well, we're not in because it's a holiday. I was like, a holiday again? Yeah, it's this day or it's that day. Tons of holidays. Okay. So, and then their work week is not Monday to Friday, but it's actually Sunday to Thursday. And their weekend is Friday and Saturday. So that's interesting. They do not celebrate Christmas on the 25th of December. They celebrate Christmas on January 7th. Crazy, 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 crazy. Um, Going to just everyday things that we kind of take for granted. So, like um, their Wi-Fi is spotty. You have to buy like your own Wi-Fi, um, WhatsApps, that you would think, oh, well, WhatsApp, a lot of times you can't make phone calls, you can only text. So if you are really connected to, your interconnectivity, that will be an adjustment that you would have to deal with. But I would rather take that adjustment for how much the cost of living is there. The cost of living is bananas. Okay. So you can get an apartment, a one bedroom, fully furnished apartment for as low as $85, really lower than that. It was a young lady I um that I was studying, and she got a brand new apartment, fully furnished with refrigerator, um, couch, beds, everything. $85 a month to like $300 a month. Her apartment was $85 a month. And she said her utilities came to about between 11 to $12 per month for all her utilities. And how she's living, this is how she living. She live off Etsy. She has a couple of Etsy stores and eBay stores. That's what she doing. Things that we do like as little side hustles. That is her main income. She's been there 3 years, and she has no intentions on coming back to the United States. She said she just was just over the stress of everything, and I think she was only like 28. And she said that, Maya, welcome. She said that, as far as future here, she said on the Nikki, welcome. She said on the um, Social Security website, they said that Social Security may not be by 2037. So she said she had to make some decisions. So she decided to bounce, and she says she's loving it. Her skin was looking good, everything like that. Since it is an Islamic country, they're not eating swine, they're really not drinking. So again, you're getting a very natural, um, holistic type of existence. In Egypt, it's just hot. It was hot. I'm gonna lie, it was hot. So you just stay hydrated. And I saw very few, if any, big people because they drinking that water and they walk in and all that. Um, Let me see. It's about it's Cairo, the Cairo, the capital, is very busy, almost like Nigeria. A lot of people, 10 million people in Cairo. So if you do have a car, you will be in traffic all the time, but they do have public transportation that people get around in, that kind of rolls. Um, there has been talk, like I had mentioned before, just of my non welcome. There has been that, oh, they're a little racist, sexist, whatsoever. I had seen two YouTubes that um, they had issue with at the customs giving visas to other Africans coming um, into Cairo. I told you that North Africa don't think that they part of Africa. They think they part of Middle East. So a couple of Nigerians said that they gave them the business and rejected the application for a visa to go to Egypt. And as I mentioned, I hope everyone has their passport. Put a thumbs up in the chat if you have your passport. You better have your passport, and make sure your passport is valid. If your passport is going to expire this year, I would definitely encourage you to, um, yeah, I would definitely encourage you to go and get it renewed. It's good for 10 years, so you can bounce when the heat gets hot in the kitchen. You can definitely bounce. Um, but yeah, they give Nigerians a hard time. It was several Nigerians that I saw on YouTube that they said when they applied for their visa to go to Egypt, that they got the runaround and then they got rejected. That's why I share all the time that that blue book, that one great thing that we have by default is a US passport. That blue book, literally, how much is Bitcoin worth now? About 102, 99,102. That blue book for real is worth more than Bitcoin, because you can go all over the world without pretty much any drama. You can get into any country. We don't realize that we have that privilege of having a US passport. US passport is priceless. Priceless. Put priceless in the chat. Priceless. Priceless. So let me see what else. What else? So it is inexpensive to live, um, and beautiful place to visit. So I would give this probably 4 African handbags, because it covers the, you satisfying you as a traveler. And also, it is, other than the heat, but they have air condition. They do have air condition. Um, the cost of living is minimal, minimal. So, what else do I have? Oh, I have goodies tonight. I've been working hard since I was off a couple of days. So, what I will be doing every evening, like I did before, I was given like little itineraries or whatsoever. So, each night, uh well, don't watch. Someone's trying to hate on YouTube. I love it. I love it. They watching, but they saying my live sting. Okay, whatever. I love it, but you still watching. Um, Send me a DM and I will send you not only the 24-hour itinerary, okay, I will send you the five if you want to be there for like a week. I'll send you the 5 to 7 day itinerary for Egypt. And just for thanking y'all for coming on and spending the hour of power with Glamplux Travels, or really uh, Africa Awaits and 50 Shades of Glow on YouTube. Uh, I will give you a 5 to 7 day itinerary, ultimate, like comprehensive. I really did a lot of work on the place that we talked about. So tomorrow we're talking about Ethiopia. I will be giving you um, itinerary on Ethiopia. So every single day, whoever's on the live, but you have to send me, you got to DM me. I give it to you. It's going to be complimentary. It's usually, I think like 15, 14, $15 or something like that for the for the long itinerary, and um, the layover itinerary is like $10. It's not that expensive, but it's a gift to everyone that has come on the live, so you can get more familiar if you are planning on traveling to those places. You can, see what you would like to go and see, so you can have more of a visual. So that is my gift to y'all, and I guess that's it. 45 minutes. And I covered everything. Let me make sure. Oh, the income, digital nomads, and of course, the number one, all those teachers out there. Teachers, English teachers. That's how you can make your money. This young lady, she has an Etsy store. Well, she said a couple of Etsy stores and eBay, and that's how she makes a living. She pays $85. So her total for her to be in her apartment, $85 plus 12 is nine. She doesn't even spend $100 a month to live for her apartment and her utilities. So Egypt, with its beauty, its history, very inexpensive to live. So if no one has any question, no one wants to come on. Who wants to come on? All right. Well, I will see y'all tomorrow, 9 p.m., and we will be talking about Ethiopia. We're going to go through all of the countries, and really, and I want to wish everyone a wonderful Martin Luther King birthday. I hope you all rested today, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. I thank y'all. Y'all take care. Oh, who is this?